Hey, welcome to the TVP channel. Today we have a tournament top Swiss game and it's between the Shoutmons. Now, BT10 has only been released for the second weekend and people are starting to recognize the powerhouse of the set. It's of course the ever-resourceful Champion Rush. Sorry, I do mean the Shoutmon Digicross. Now, in a mirror game, the deck lists are definitely what contributes to who win in the matchup. Despite the skeleton of the deck list consisting of at least 40 cards already, the last 10 cards in the deck do make the difference. Now, without further ado, let's dive right into the game itself as we do see the Mech Cheetah and Sora Tamer and giving 1 memory to the left player as he does go for the Sparamon hit, drawing 1 thanks to the Pikmon, and he does actually die, but there's no Tamer for him to actually save, so that's very unfortunate. However, he does have the Mikey Kudo Tamer here. Looking at top 4, he does pick 1, or rather 2 of them, 1 underneath the Tamer and of course 1 to hand. Of course, the hand one will be actually evolving the nursery the next turn. Now the Shoutmon will be pushed out. I'll be swinging the security with the Pikmon drawing 1, does hit into another Shoutmon in the security, so it's going to save. It's going to save under the Mech and Sora Tamer. It's going to actually hard play the X5 with 3 materials underneath it, so this will be actually 4 costs, so will be giving just 2 memory to the left player. But let's not forget he does have the Jeremy, so he's going to actually gain 1 memory, pushing down to 1 memory to the left player only. How do the left player actually react? He's going to swing the Shoutmon, which does have 10k DP. So this 10k DP will force a trade if he does actually decide to block, and will force the material save. So you're going to see the Mikey Kulo using his effect, actually suspending himself. They're going to use up to 4 materials here to actually form the Shoutmon X5, and this will be a 2 cost hardcore from the X5. We'll just be passing back 1 memory to the right player. So this is definitely a memory joke, but we can see that the right player only have like 1 hand size to work with, does draw 1 to begin the turn with 2 hand size. But man, this deck definitely do take a toll on your hand if you don't actually do a lot of pluses. Now the X5 will swing over the X4, does 2 security check thanks to the piercing as well, and of course draw 1 thanks to the Pikmon, and of course going to go for the Maki Kudo as well for himself, looking at top 4. Now of course in the top 4 you can pick 1 Digimon and of course the Tamer adding it to hand. It's going to pick up actually the Shoutmon as well as the Tamer, adding both to hand, and the Shoutmon King will be bottom deck as well. Now the Sparamon will actually swing at security with 5k DP thanks to his effect. So he's not going to die to the security Sparamon itself, and we're going to see the X5 swing the security also, does into the X5 himself also. So he's actually going to get popped and material save 3 will happen, so he's going to choose 3 material to actually be saved. The Shoutmon of course and the Ballista and the Starmon will be saved under the Mikey Kudo. This is where Mikey Kudo uses his effect to actually reuse these materials. So these materials are actually used efficiently, I would say, and it's going to slot in probably towards the X5 as he does actually put the Sparamon underneath it, and it's going to go for the X5 for 0 cost, and that's how the Shoutmon to actually give you rush. So it's going to swing at security 1 more time, does draw 1 thanks to the Starmon, does hit into the Starmon in the security, and it's going to play the Jeremy Tamer to actually call the Ballistamon, which is also a blocker. So there's 2 blockers against the opponent, but the opponent doesn't have any Digimon in nursery, so he's not going to do too much. He's going to swing at security with the X5, does he draw 1 thanks to the Starmon, does hit into another Jeremy though. So this definitely is going to be quite insane as he does concede because there's no more move to make. He'll be going on to game 2 with the left player taking game 1. Now Sparamon will be evolving nursery, and we do see a turn 1 X5. Basically an 8 cost hardcore because of 1 material being slotted in, but man, that's definitely very harsh as he does go for the Maki Kudo with the 8 memory he does have. Looking at top 4, we do see the Jeremy and of course the level 4 Tiger adding both to hands, so that's very nice. The Jeremy do add into the hand though. Now the Mikey will use his effect to actually use the material underneath it and of course put the Shoutmon King and evolve to the Shoutmon X4. Now the Shoutmon X4 will allow him to draw 2 upon placing, so that's very nice bonus as he does go for the Jeremy, which allow him to play the Ballistamon, and of course tapping it will just reduce the cost by 1. So just passing back 2 memory to the right player as he does swing the Sparamon, and how will he actually decide to block it? He doesn't block it and does hit into the Crimson Blaze, which will of course kill off the Sparamon. But however, damage is done as he does swing the X5, which does have 2 security checks, but the Ballistamon will simply block it because there's no piercing underneath it, so it's a very heads up play for the left player because there's no need to take this unnecessary damage. Now the X4 will swing as security and it does have 10k DP, or essentially 12k thanks to the level 4 champion yellow, and just go for another Jeremy to actually play the Ballistamon once again and simply pass the turn. Now the right player does have only 1 win to work with, and he does have a Sparamon in nursery, and we shall see how he's going to make the move. He does swing the X5 and the Ballistamon will repeat his process and of course block it. Now he does have the Rookie though to actually swing as security, does hit into a Ballistamon, and there's no material save, so that's very unfortunate, and does finally have the NG Tamer. It looks like he doesn't have anything to spawn from his hand. But the Sparamon does come in very handy because he can always keep rebooting that Shoutmon, and the Shoutmon is a blocker. However, it's not choosing to block the X4, but does hit into the Mikey, which is very beneficial for him. He's going to pick up the level 4 champion. He's going to add it underneath the Mikey Kudo, and the option will be adding it to hand, and the others will be going to the bottom of the deck. Now the left player does go for his own Maki Kudo to actually set up for future turns, and I must say and emphasize, Maki Kudo is such an important card because even if you do material save, you don't actually digicross for free. Basically, you do need Maki Kudo to actually use his effect to allow you to actually use those materials underneath the tamers for digicross. So Maki Kudo is definitely very important, and we do see the X5 hitting to the NG and Jeremy, which will be beneficial and definitely very advantageous for the future turns. Now we do see a Sparrowmon being blocked by the Ballistamon. It's going to unsave underneath the Maki Kudo, and of course going to go for the Sunrise Buster to actually kill the Ballistamon, but Ballistamon does have save once again, and of course going to save underneath the Maki Kudo. Now it's going to start the turn off with actually 4 memory here. It's going to go for the Starmon Evolution in the nursery. It's going to swing the X4, which once again is not going to be blocked by the X5. Does hit into the Jeremy, and he doesn't have any Ballistamon to spawn. The X5 will finally block the champion, and of course the Dorumon will be safe underneath the Maki Tamer, and it's going to go for the Pyrosphere here to actually basically just draw 2 cards because there's nothing to destroy. And looks like he does have the Maki Kudo play here as he does push out the Ballistamon and the other materials from underneath the Tamers. And he's going to go for the Digicross himself. It looks like he does go for the Shoutmon X4. In his case, it will be 5 costs, I believe. No, sorry, 3 costs, but he does have 3 Jeremy to actually compensate that. So he does gain back 3 memory and does actually draw 1 more additional card thanks to NG. So he's going to draw 3 here, 2 from the X4. Looks like he does have enough hand size. He's going to go for the Digicross for the X5, which will be only having 3 materials. So this will be a 4 cost hardcore, giving 2 memory to the right player. Now the right player of course hatched to a Pigmon once again, and we shall see how he will actually be dealing with this massive X4 and X5 bot as he does swing over the X4, and the X4 of course use the material save here to actually save underneath the Kudo, and we'll go for the Heroes of the Skies, which is definitely a weaker version of Pyrosphere in my opinion, because Pyrosphere can actually deal with Solar Mons, and if you don't deal with those Solar Mons, your deck is actually definitely going to break very hard. And we do see a Ballistamon being hard played here as he does go for the Jeremy and NG, making it a 3 cost hardcore, but the Ballistamon will definitely be there just as a blocker. Now the X5 will swing on security, and he does have piercing, so he does choose to block it with the X5 finally, which is hard played in the first turn, and we do see the material save happening for both sides. And the Starmon will actually be swinging the security as well to draw 1, and with the Ballistamon actually block it, he doesn't choose to block it, it's going to spawn the NG Tamer, and of course with this NG Tamer it's going to allow him to spawn the level 4 champion from hand. It's going to apply the 3k DP most likely on the X4, which he does so. So the X4 will continue to swing a security, draw 1 thanks to Starmon, and does hit into the Pyrosphere also, so the Starmon is going to get deleted. However, he does have save, so it's definitely what he wants for the left player. The left player will go for another Maki Kudo, so he does have 3 on the board already, and he's going to look at top 4, and most likely he's looking for the Shoutmon, which we actually didn't find it, because Shoutmon does give you the rush, and the rush is definitely very important for you to push for game. He's going to go for the Maki Kudo effect to actually suspend himself to allow you to put materials underneath those tamers and basically use for Digicross. So it's going to slot, I believe 5, so it's going to see the X5 coming down, so it'll be a 0 cost evolution, and we do see the Jeremy and NG doing work, and he does finally gain 3 memory for 0 cost hard play, so that's very nice. But the Ballistamon will of course block off the X5 and does go for another Maki Kudo play, and we shall see another X5 I believe coming down, because X5 is definitely a very strong blocker. Now he does actually contemplate, he's going to actually just use 3 materials here, which is basically making the X5 a 4 cost, so it's going to memory choke the opponent. So that's a very nice play. Now we do have only 1 memory for the right player, and we shall see how is he actually going to play this turn. As he does push out the Starmon, he's going to swing the security, and the left player is going to let it go, because if he does hit the Crimson Blaze, it will be almost instantly game over. The level 4 champion will swing the security as well, and the X5 will actually be blocking that. So he left 0 security, and we shall see a X4 coming down. He does stop a Shoutmon, and most likely he's going to use the Maki Kudo Tamer, which he does so here to actually use the materials underneath it. So this will basically be a 1 cost hard play, but he does have Jeremy, so it's definitely going to be a 0 cost hard play here. And of course he does have the NG and X4 to draw a bunch of cards, a total of 4 cards I believe. And we shall see whether he can actually end the game here. He's going to swing the X4, and of course we do have an X5 to block it. So the X4 will go for the material save here, and this is where it gets slightly complicated I would say. So this is why I'm fastening the video up, because it's kind of hard for me to actually cut or rather show you what's happening. So I'm just going to tell you guys what's going to happen. So simply put, he actually thought he has another Maki Kudo to use the materials. So without the materials, he actually can't go for another Digicross without passing the turn. So this is definitely a game over for the right player, as the left player does have 3 or rather 4 Digimons ready to swing as security, and the left player does win. Now this is the winning deck list for the Shoutmon, if you guys are interested in. And this will be the other Shoutmon deck list if you guys are interested in as well. Thank you guys for watching till the end, and do consider subscribing, dropping a like and a comment if you guys do enjoy the content.